Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. We are sitting outside Anderson Stadium on the campus of Peach County High School for tonight's football matchup between Peach County and Houston County. I'm Frank Malloy. Ben Jones joining me now. Of course, we want to kind of run through the whole scenario. Now, obviously, we had planned on being here weeks ago that this was obviously going to be a huge football matchup, the opener for Peach County. Houston County very highly ranked, of course, with the events of last week. 4 students injured in a one-car accident, 1 student killed, the other 3 injured. We thought about reconsidering our plans, but both Peach County Principal Al Pollard, Peach County head football coach Chad Campbell told us they would prefer we come. They wanted us to come, and that is why we are here. We, of course, are going to touch on what happened. We'll touch on the young men, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the football game because they've had a pep rally today, and there's going to be a whole lot of folks here who will be paying their respects to Raekwon Smith, the young man who was killed, but also at the same time watching their team play. Yeah, and like I said, we'll be celebrating Raekwon Smith's life out here. A lot of these folks will. And also, as even Chad Campbell has said, football is a healing thing sometimes. Yeah. So let's go to that. We're going to have Suzanne's story right now. Talks about that. A sit-down interview with Chad Campbell.
When I got in my truck and left, just a few minutes away, and you have all kinds of things running through your head, what you're fixing to walk into. And I wasn't expecting to walk into what I did, so it was tough.
Most coaches will never have to deal with the death of a football player. Raekwon Smith died after losing control in his SUV Sunday night. 3 other players were with him. 2 of them walked away without severe injuries. Defensive tackle Randolph Williams is battling to regain the feeling in his legs.
I think today or tomorrow they're supposed to he's supposed to be getting a bed at the Shepherd's Clinic in Atlanta, so he's got a long recovery ahead of him. Well, he's from his lower extremities right now, but he had a little feeling in his upper legs yesterday, so that was a good sign. But he's had a lot of people up there seeing him, trying to uplift him, and we got a great community here, and we've got a great love for sports and athletics here, especially football, and so it's really touched a lot of lives and a lot of hearts.
But I'm so glad. Hundreds showed up in Peach this week to hug the players and coaches. Campbell says it helps. But what's also given the coach with 3 state titles to his name is phone calls and texts from other coaches who have offered advice.
Lean on other people, let them help you out, trust in the Lord.
Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will go with you wherever you go.
And our team chaplain has been out every day.
Here we go.
The business of football goes on, and in some ways that too gives the guys something else to focus on amid tough emotional times. Every game this year, each Trojan will have a yellow sticker on their helmet with Raekwon's initials.
I told them, don't ask why, because we don't know why. Only one person knows that, and he don't make oops, he don't make mess ups. He's got a plan for everything, and he's got Raekwon now, and Raekwon's looking down on us and looking for some big things.
Suzanne Lawler, 13 WMAZ, Eyewitness Sports.
Coach Campbell says both Raekwon and Randolph's families will be at the game tonight, which starts at 8 o'clock. The players will wear yellow towels with Randolph's number on them. As for Eric Robinson, Campbell says he hasn't returned to school yet. He has what he called a huge gash on his arm and is also recovering from a concussion. Obviously a very emotional week, and the man who, of course, was part of that is the principal of Peach County High School. Al Pollard is joining us now. When something like this happens, Al, what kind of guidelines or what kind of guidance do you have, or is this something you just kind of let the students go with?
We pretty much come in and play by ear and try to respond to what their needs are. The counselors, of course, were ready and prepared to help and console whatever came their way. And this week, the students did a great job of handling themselves. They approached me about doing some odds and ends to remember Raekwon with, and we did them, and they did it very mature, with great maturity and great dignity and great respect to the event. So it's been a different week, but a good week in that respect.
Obviously, when something like this happens, I mean, you have to touch on, you have to go over, but I mean, I guess you're trying to kind of slowly transition into school as normal.
Yeah, as Coach Campbell said, the normalcy is the best thing you can do as far as that goes. It's tragic, it's horrible, but to return to the normalcy is vital, and it helps the kids at that time. The structure is such, and the environment being structured helps them a great deal.
As we've said, a lot of times when you're 16, 17, 18 years old, I mean, kids think they're invincible. Is this kind of a way? A teaching thing where they almost learn, hey, anything can happen at any time. You need to be your best self at all times.
I certainly think so. I certainly think it teaches you that life can be very diligent and very short if and for the best of us, and to take it one day at a time and enjoy it and do the best we can at whatever we do.
And I guess the community probably has rallied around too, because this is obviously a community that's very invested in this school and in this football program.
A terrific community, absolutely. The showing out on Monday night was mostly adults in honor of him. It was just a great showing by a great community.
Al Pollard, thanks very much. We certainly appreciate
Thanks
you letting us come. And of course, Ben, I mean, it's one of those things, but I mean, things will go on. Unfortunately, for a lot of the events this week, the weather has cooperated, especially Monday night when they had the gathering here at the stadium.
Well, and Al, as you said, normalcy, one of the things that really bonds the crew and gets them all together, sometimes can be a good old-fashioned football game. Put it out there on the field and everybody just celebrate their school and being together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to do it with heat tonight. You might feel it. Although we got this open field here, the breeze feels pretty good. Let's show you what's happening for the outside shot. It is pretty toasty, but I'm thankful for the breeze where we're sitting. Thankful there's no pecan grove right near here, but to block this is not bad. Here's the Alpha Sky Cam as we're looking at 95. Feels like 97. Tonight we're going to be looking at a low around 70. Chance of rain is almost zilch, so it should be fine for tonight. A hot football Friday night, and Doppler Max HD shows mainly just clear skies. And this is the way it's going to be as we go through the weekend. So coming up a little bit, we'll show you the models for both days this weekend, and then what's going on in the tropics, or more like what's not going on in the tropics. We'll dig in with that. That is on the way in just a little while. We're back with Tailgate 13 live from Peach County. I want to keep.
All right, welcome back. We are at Anderson Stadium, Fort Valley, Georgia. Peach County and Houston County will be kicking off. Of course, remember now, this is the 8 o'clock kickoff. Peach County is one of the few schools that adhere to that 8 o'clock kickoff.
Every game, every year.
They have never changed. They're going to start at 8 o'clock, and that's just occasionally in the playoffs, though. All right, Peach County and Houston County. Now, they don't play a lot, obviously. Peach County is a smaller school, and obviously that's the way it's going to be this year, too. But this year, with some smaller regions, teams had to come up with some more non-region matchups, and this is one of them. Peach County has won 9 of the 10 times these two schools have played. And probably not surprising, Peach County probably has the richer football history, and obviously they've won several championships. But Hoko did win the last game, Ben, back in 2005.
I was just looking at that. It's been only 11 years.
Yes.
So, hey, I tell you who to be watching. There's one of them right there that just threw the ball. Jake Fromm, you may have heard of this guy. Yeah, he's only 6'3", 225. He's a senior now, and of course you may have heard he's a 4-star, bordering on a 5-star, Frank says, committed to Georgia.
Yep.
Last week versus Mary Persons, how about 412 yards?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. 59% completion rate, 36 TDs last year, almost 4,100 yards. The guy's a beast. 60% completion rate, career 75 TDs. He is the one to watch on the Hoko side for sure.
Also a good baseball player, too, played on their state championship baseball team. Now, as far as Peach County goes, well, they have a lot of talented people. Kyrus Jackson is one we're focusing on. He is only a junior now. He is a 4-star wide receiver. He has offers from Alabama, Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Southern, on and on. Of course, now, if you would pick George, even though he's only a junior, him and Jake Fromm could potentially play together in Athens.
That's weird.
Return. He's 6 feet tall, about 190 pounds, and a couple of weeks ago, he had a couple of touchdowns in a scrimmage against Northside. He's very shifty. There you see him right there. Last year, over 600 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. And he is a man they are going to feature in their offense, trust me, when they have the ball today, because he's just one of those guys that Coach Campbell is going to try and get the ball in his hands as many times as he can. A lot of big play potential from both sides of the ball right here.
This would be probably one of the marquee games of the season right here when you put
I think it would be, even though the fact that, Hoko is obviously the bigger school and being in 6A, but Peach County in 3A, but still proud football traditions. Hoko more recently, Peach County with the 3 state championships back in early 2000s. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. certainly going to be a good matchup.
And it's only been a decade since they played, so I'm sure people are ready to see this one air out again on the field tonight. Let's show you what's going on as we go to break. We're about to do full weather in a little bit, and I can tell you it is fully hot. As we go to break, 90s rule all over central Georgia, so as you go out tonight, no need to take the blanket at all. You'll see the almanac going to break, and we come back. We're going to show you some hot football weather. Come on back. 97.
All righty, we got the cheerleaders, we got the Peach County High School band, and they are fired up for our Tailgate 13 and for a football Friday night in Fort Valley. They love their football. The students are here. A lot of folks are going to be here. This place will be packed tonight. You know Houston County's bringing the house, and you know Peach County likes a good tussle too, so it's going to be good.
I kind of think it's going to be a standing room only kind of situation here tonight. I just have a feeling. Going to be good football, and it's going to be hot, folks. No surprise. Beginning of the season, August football in central Georgia. It is stifling, but a good breeze coming across the field here in Peach County.
Is.
Hopefully, wherever you end up going tonight, you'll have a breeze as well, but you're going to be looking at a low around 70. A partly cloudy night, and as we go on through tonight into tomorrow, just more of the same thing. Dry weather continuing, and we go from tonight on into the Doppler Max HD. We see really just partly cloudy skies, and it'll be that way as we go through tonight and tomorrow and Sunday. We zoom the map out, and we look around and see other stuff as you get on back into Alabama and Mississippi, but really pretty quiet here. Northern Alabama with some severe weather, but that's not heading this way. Here is a look at future view. We're going to go to the RPM model and check out really a whole lot of nothing. If we see anything over the next couple of days, it's going to be to our north or to our south. We're kind of stuck in the middle. But again, being August, we can't rule out a possibility of a stray something. You can see even on Sunday the same thing. And then we start to get on into Monday, and we'll see if anything wants to pop eventually in the afternoon as well. Now, we've been talking tropics. We're watching them because, well, there's a reason to. But so far, we're really not seeing anything all that impressive. So the National Hurricane Center says about a 60% chance of development over the next 5 days. Now, what do the models think? The spaghetti models are showing pretty much a consistent, somewhat movement to the west-northwest into the eastern Gulf. A couple of models want to take it on up the Atlantic side of Florida and ride it up the Georgia and Carolina coastline. Let's look at the current numbers. And again, we'll watch this as we go through the weekend. Matt Daniel will keep an eye on it. We'll have a better idea as we go through the weekend on into next week. Some big numbers out there as we go through, just looking at 97s and 98s. The heat index, it's a player. It's probably not as high as it could be in spots, but it's going to feel like 100 degrees at most games when you get here. And then eventually as we get on through, obviously as the sun goes down, it'll get a little bit better. As far as the numbers as we go through the weekend, we'll see 90s for highs tomorrow afternoon. Pretty much an average around 70 for both mornings. And as we get into Sunday afternoon, 90s again. The 7-day will show a stretch of 90s. We'll just finish out August on a kind of dry note, maybe a hit or miss shower here or there, but basically dry. And then we'll begin September the same way, unless something does happen in the tropics, and then we'll have to change that. So still the last 2 days are written in pencil there as we watch the tropics and continue with that. But really not bad feeling where we are right now. I mean, a little sweat on the brow, but the breeze is helping. So that's the 7-day for you, folks. All right, I think the band is fired up. The cheerleaders, the students. We've got football to talk about on the other side of this break. What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about Jake Fromm and a very talented group of people on the receiving end of his passes. Stay with us, Tailgate 13. We are live in Fort Valley, Peach County High. All right, welcome back. It is Peach County and Houston County. They kick off tonight at 8 o'clock. The Peach County band, obviously very excited. We got a nice little piece of cloud cover right now.
Yeah, just that like one cloud. I love it.
Yeah, we talked about Jake Fromm. Obviously, he's a very talented quarterback. So the fact that we mentioned him is probably not a big surprise to Houston County fans.
Yeah, but for Fromm to be successful, he's got to have a very special cast of characters around him. Our Marvin James caught up to find out what makes the Bears and these receivers so special.
The number one team in Class 6A football, according to the AP, will step on the field Friday night and try to duplicate the success they had last week in the Corky Kell Classic. We said Fromm to Colbert a lot as the pair joined forces for not one, not two, 3
3
not 3.
That's his 3rd touchdown.
But 4 touchdowns.
They built a chemistry and a bond that obviously paid off for us Friday night or last Thursday night.
Coach Lassiter is referring to the bond created between his receivers and his quarterback, but for the offense to look this good, there must be a secret behind that chemistry.
We play pool basketball a lot of the time. We go to his house, we play video games all the time, Madden, pool basketball, just regular basketball. We're always together, go out to eat.
Before these boys ever stepped foot under the Friday night lights or in the same hallway for that matter, these friendships already had a foundation.
It basically started just in middle school, getting to know each other, even at different middle schools.
From middle school to their senior seasons in high school, it all comes down to being together all the time.
Being together 24/7, we lift weights together, so when we're together 24/7, everything just come together.
It's a friendship that you could see on the practice field, and Fromm is not shy to give his partners in crime the credit.
Amari, he's big, fast, and has really good ball skills. Eli, he's big and fast, and he runs the best post route I've ever seen. Kemar, he's a smaller guy, has really good ball skills and runs really good routes. And Javen's explosive. From right now, he really can't be tackled. So as long as we get the ball in his hands, we'll be all right.
All righty, Jake Fromm. Now, one thing to keep in mind, though, these kids are really good, but remember, they still are in high school.
I know. You can forget it after a while.
Yeah, you don't want to sit there and be analyzing them like they're getting paid to play. They're really good, but I'll just appreciate how good these high school football players are and go from
well,
there.
it's just because when you see them, it looks like they should be on a different level, like you're on a different field. It's amazing stuff. Listen, they're fired up behind us. When we come back, we're going in studio with our Lori Johnson for a check on news. Stick around. Tailgate 13 live in Peach County.